Can you remember the first story that completely pulled you into another world? For me, honestly, I can't even remember when it all started. But what I do know for sure is that the person who inspired me to love books was my mother. What about you? What's your story? Today, I'm going to share 3 books I'm planning to add to my to-read list in my journal. Miss Chocolate. I can still feel that magic, and I hope one of these books bring that feeling back for you too, or even inspires you to start reading. Stay till the end because the third book is the most fascinating one I've discovered recently, and trust me, you'll be hearing its name everywhere very soon. You don't want to miss it. Hi, if you are new here, I'm Margavan, and if you've been here before, welcome back to my Messy Arts, where art is at its realest. As I mentioned before, I love the classic genre. We've already seen the pages I made in the journal, but if you haven't watched the previous video and would like to, the link is right here. We are going to spend a lot of time together completing Miss Chocolate. So let's kick off one of our journeys. I can't remember the first moments I realized how much I love this genre. I've always adored the atmosphere of those old days, the nature, and especially the clothing style. I guess this passion goes back to a TV series called Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I used to watch it as a kid. It aired on CBS from 1993 to 1998. It tells the story of Dr. Michaela Quinn, a woman who studied medicine in Boston but couldn't find a job. So she had to move to a small town to treat patients. At first, the townspeople couldn't accept a female doctor, and that's where the adventures begins. Have you ever watched it? Let's talk about it if you have. I'm crazy about the stories with female main character, women who can truly touch other people's lives. Have you heard this quote? All stories begin with either a stranger coming to town or someone going on a journey. I'm not sure who said it, but I love it, and you can really see it in most stories. Now let's get back to our books. Both of my aunts studied English literature at university, and 2 of the books I'm going to mention were actually recommended by them. The first classic novel I ever read was Pride and Prejudice, which you probably heard of. It was written by Jane Austen. It's a mix of romance, social commentary, and subtle humor. The story takes place in 18th century England and begins with a misunderstanding between Darcy's pride and Elizabeth's prejudice. We see whether love can bring them to common ground or not. My older aunt always encouraged me to read it. She was a real bookworm. Sometimes I wish I could step into her shoes. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to read it again. I'm sure reading it at different times in life will bring completely different experiences. The second book is Shakespeare's famous play, Romeo and Juliet. As you might guess, its genre is tragedy and romance. The story takes place in Verona, Italy, and tells the tale of love between 2 young people from families who are bitter enemies. Honestly, I've never read any of Shakespeare's works before, so I'm very excited to finally start. From the very first pages, I was captivated, and I can't wait to see what happens next. We often hear about famous stories like Romeo and Juliet, but few readers realize that the joy of reading a book is completely different from just hearing the story or watching its adaptation. And now, the third book, the one you'll be hearing about again and again next year, Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. It's actually the only novel she ever wrote. You probably know the Brontë sisters. Emily was the middle one among the three writers, and we'll definitely explore more of their works together. Its genre is gothic, romance, tragedy, and psychological fiction set in the wild, windy moors of Yorkshire, England. It's a story about a love that transcends time and even death. Isn't that romantic? I have to admit, this novel really thrills me. It was always recommended by my younger aunt, who's amazing. I spent a lot of time with her as a child. I've already read the first 100 pages and it's so mysterious and intriguing. I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm sure it'll be one of the most powerful stories I've ever read. And above all, next year, a new film adaptation will be released, directed by Emerald Fennell and starring Margaret Robbie and Jacob Elordi. It promises a modern, bold, and intense retelling of this obsessive and destructive love, and it will probably be one of the most talked about movies of 2026. So, which of these books have you read, or which one would you like to read? Let's talk about them in the comments. We'll share many moments together with Miss Chocolate, so don't forget to meet her and join me for the upcoming pages. If you enjoyed this messy artistic journey, I'd love it if you like and subscribe, so we can keep creating together. Soon, we'll be turning each of the books we read into an art page. I'm so excited about it. What about you?